Hey, good morning. It's Mark Weiss. Thanks for joining me today because together we are going to solve the physician retirement crisis. So what am I talking about? Well, obviously, as the baby boomer generation is getting older, there are more and more physicians using the R word. Now, in my language, the R word is worse than the F word. The R word, retirement, is basically a signal to God, to the universe, however you want to put it, to take the parts back. I can't tell you how many physicians I've known who have retired only to shortly die. Clients who sold their businesses only not have any other purpose and shortly thereafter die. But many, I know, disagree with me, that they think that retirement is some sort of goal. They've fallen for this notion of the golden years, blah, blah, blah. And so they are letting their colleagues, medical groups, know that they are going to be retiring soon. Now, certainly I understand that if a physician is losing his or her skills, if they're in a specialty that requires very small motor movements, placing needles, for example, using a scalpel, and their hands are beginning to shake, well, that's another story. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the choice that physicians make to retire. But the more I think about this, why are they making that choice to retire? Is it that they actually want to stop working, which is the assumption? Or is it actually something else? What underlies even the why? What's the below why? I want to stop working, but why? For many, it's that they want to slow down. They don't want the same level of intensity. But if that's really an underlying why, may not be in every case, but if it is, perhaps the assumption made by the group that someone is either in or out can change. Well, why would it change? Now, I know that there's some groups which function like, say, accounting firms, where the older partners are pushed out because if you look at the numbers, it makes sense to push them out so that there's more money left for the younger partners. But is that really the case? If, say, in a medical group, what's walking out the door is the relationship with the hospital CEO, what's walking out the door is the 20 years of experience as the group's president, is it really a savings to have that person leave, or is it actually something that's going to cost you money? Now, on paper, I guess the first year or the second year, it certainly looks like you save money because their compensation is no longer there. Hey, extra money in the bank. But is it really extra money in the bank if you lose key relationships that were putting all of the money in the bank? So the question becomes, are there ways of repurposing people who would otherwise completely retire? One client in his group found a solution, that is to share positions, so that physicians who certainly had their skills but who desired to slow down split a position. In essence, both worked part-time, two physicians sharing one role. Other groups have looked at situations in which more than two physicians would share one role. Yes, there are issues. Do those physicians all retain their full voting power? Do those physicians receive whatever other benefits, say extra compensation at the end of a year from a bonus pool for partners? But all of those issues can be solved. What I want you to focus on is the fact that from the group's perspective, and I suppose if you're one of those physicians who are about to retire, from your own perspective, what retirement really means to the individual, what it means to the group, to the practice, and how skills that could otherwise be lost can still be harnessed.